What is up, guys? My name is Ebenezer Frimpong, and welcome back to the channel. Back for another fantastic video. Now, I have a really cool story to tell you guys, right? You guys are probably confused. You just watch that intro like, what? Like, I don't get it. But here's where I'm going with all of this. So, a few days ago, maybe, I think it was last Thursday or Wednesday, I don't remember. But my little brother had a college visit in West Virginia, right? And I'm like, I'll go. Right, so we hop in the car. We're driving. I live in Ohio. West Virginia is like 3 hours, 3 hours and 40 minutes drive. It wasn't too bad. So we're in the car. Boom, we're driving. We're just thinking we're going to a normal college visit. We get there. College visit starts. We're going to the tour. They're showing us different things of the school, trying to sell us, blah 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 blah. And we get to the math department. I'm pretty sure it was that department. Doesn't matter. But we go in, and there's two guys coming out of one of the classrooms with a big cart with a bunch of like tech gadgets and things on it. And then they start making conversation. You're like, what's up, guys? What are you guys doing? We're like, oh, I'm just here for my brother's college visit, whatever. And you're like, look at all this trash we're about to go throw away. And I'm like, what? Because I'm looking at the cart, and something on the cart looks mad familiar. Mad familiar, because I'm a nerd. I watch the History Show. I watch Pawn Stars. I watch a bunch of different things, and one of my favorite entrepreneurs is Steve Jobs. Now I'm looking on this cart, and I see something. I've seen it before, and guess what it is? Hold on, let me grab it. Look, it's an Apple II, like an actual Apple II. This like 1907. I don't know what time period it is. I forgot to look it up, but it's old. It's old. Okay, it's pretty old. Right? But anyway, I'm super excited about it. But here's how I got it. Sorry. So basically, these guys are about to throw all these things away. And I'm like, what's wrong with them? They're like, oh, they're just old. We don't use them anymore. And I'm like, I need that.
Because another man's what? Another man's trash is another man's treasure.
So there was like 4 of those. If I can get a video, I'll put it in here. But I grabbed all 4 of them with the monitors. One of them, there was another thing that had the old Apple logo on it. Basically, if it had the old rainbow Apple logo, I grabbed it. There was other computers left, like it was the Mac G2 where it has like, you could spin it around, but it had a silver logo, it was the really new Apple logo. Didn't care for it. Also, I didn't have space in the car. It's a very small car. But pretty much grabbed everything. And on our way home, I was like, whoa, that is a side hustle, right? I'm like, okay, let's make a YouTube video and talk about 5 different side hustles that people can do that are semi-passive, where you don't really have to put a lot of work into them, right? And one of those, starting with number 1, is antiques, collecting antiques and collectibles and reselling them. Because these MacBook, Apple Computer 2s or whatever are worth anywhere from $400 on eBay, because I looked, $400 on eBay to about, I think I saw one sell, if I can find the screenshot, I'll put it in here. But I think I saw one sell for $18,000. I'm just like, what? $18,000, obviously none of the ones I got is gonna sell for that, because I believe it was like super pristine condition, original packaging. Even had like the unboxing wrapper, that really thin like film paper. I don't know, it's like, you know what I'm talking about. But it had all that, had everything like pristine condition, and sold for 18 grand. And none of the ones I have are gonna sell for that much. Why? Because they're dirty. They're dirty. This one that I just showed you guys is actually missing the letter M. It's missing the letter M on this one. The other ones at home, I think I have 2 or 3 more at home. Those are full. They have the full keyboard, but they're all a bit dusty. And I watch a lot of Pawn Stars. Don't clean collectibles or antiques, because sometimes that actually helps the value. But number 1 is finding antiques and collectibles and reselling them on different platforms like eBay. You can actually take into a pawn shop. We're in a whole, I found out I can say this word on YouTube. We're in the whole pandemic. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you to go to a garage sale. And why would anyone be having a garage sale in the winter? You don't want to go to garage sales right now. What you want to do is you want to go to some good places for collectibles. Is you can find stuff at Goodwill. You can find stuff actually online, people that don't really know the value of their product through Craigslist. You can actually check the Craigslist free section and find different things there that you can buy and resell. That's a form of arbitrage. But finding antiques and collectibles, and I know you guys have seen the current craze on Instagram, Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards are collectible items. If you have some that are in good condition, you can either A, sell them as is if they have, after you check the value. If they have value, you can check and sell it then. Or decide to hold on to it. And you can do the same thing for pretty much any antique or collectible that may have some value. You can do the same thing. There's actually a kid literally across the street from my house. He's friends with my little sister. And he has a thick, like 2 or 3 thick, binders of Pokemon cards. And I've offered him $2,000 for it. And he's like, oh, I'm going to talk. He's a kid. So he's like, oh, I'm going to talk to my parents, blah, blah, blah. Still haven't heard anything from him, but I'm on that lead hot because I'm trying to buy those Pokemon cards. I've actually already bought Pokemon cards. I'm waiting for them to get here, and I'm going to unbox it for the channel. But that's a great, great side hustle if you can find places to get collectible items, right? Whether that's, I just keep getting lucky. I got this stuff for free because it was about to be thrown away, and I just happen to have a neighbor who's a kid that collects Pokemon cards. And if he sells them to me, that's going to be a fun video as well. But yeah, there's different types of collectibles that you can get and resell or hold on to and sell later. It's a fun thing to do. It's not a lot of pressure. So think about it. The second thing, you guys are going to hate this one. In the ecom community, this is super frowned upon for whatever reason. I've done it, and that is create a course. We're all good at something. Everyone's good at something. Okay, a course is not bad. Course, as long as there's good information in it. But good information is subjective. But you also know when you're trying to rip people off. So as long as you're not ripping people off and you're putting good information into it, you can create a course and sell it on Udemy. So I got this idea from, obviously I've had a course, but I have a friend outside of ecom. She's actually a stripper. And if you listen to the podcast, you will learn more about her. But she actually buys stripper courses on how to talk to men, different things you could say to men. That, like, she buys those type of courses, and she says she gets a lot of value from it, right? So let's say you're a great cook, which I'm not. You can have like a course about cooking. People could buy it, and the easiest platform to put your course on is, of course, Udemy, or you can build your own platform and add your course to it using like ClickFunnels or Teachable, things like that. But you can pretty much make a course for anything that you see fit that you are essentially an expert in, and you can provide some type of value because people are willing to pay for it. That's just the truth of the matter. If you're a cook, if you're good at programming, you might want to make a course. Literally pretty much any and everything you can make a course for. But again, make sure you're providing very good content. The next thing is, which I've also done, I'm actually currently doing, and I think I don't earn a lot from it because I've only done one. But every month, I get a $45 check from Amazon. And here's how I do that. So what you do is you ghostwrite an ebook and publish it to Kindle on Amazon, right? And that's it, right? You send some traffic to it, get it ranking, and it's really passive. So you can make anywhere from, for me, because I don't really put a lot of effort in it, but I'm pretty sure you can obviously scale this. If you put a lot of effort into it, you can have one ebook that's doing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month in revenue or whatever, right? But mine is doing like $45 but it's been there for 2 years. But you can actually hire ghostwriters from anywhere from $5 to $50, and they will write an ebook on pretty much any subject you want. Doesn't matter what subject it is. You can just tell them that, hey, just pick one and just write an ebook about it. And you can get an ebook written under a pseudonym. So my ebook on Amazon, if you go type in Ebenezer Frimpong, you're not going to find it because I use a different name. Let's say you were doing this. You could come up with a name as Mr. Tape Water. I don't know. There's tape in the water in front of me. But Mr. Tape Water. And you can publish your Kindle ebooks under that pseudonym on Amazon, right? And let's say, even if I had just one ebook, I have one ebook doing $45. If I had 10 ebooks doing $45 each, that's $450 a month, right? If I had 1,000, that's $4,500. It's very, very passive, and you can hire like I said, a ghostwriter to put them together for you. Or if you don't want to do the whole pseudonym thing and you have something interesting that you want to write about, you can write about it and throw it onto Amazon Kindle Publishing. So that's also a great way to make some extra cash. Number four actually has two parts. So the first part of number 4, let's call it 4A. And 4A, food delivery. We're in a pandemic. People are at home. Okay? They're ordering food. We talked about my food spending habits in the last video. But there's other people out there just like me who are going to spend a lot of money on different things like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, and you could be delivering that food. If you have time to do it, it's super passive and you can do that. It's not super passive because, you have to actually deliver the food. But it's something you could do on your free time. I have a few friends that do that as well. Now, for B, which I actually just recently learned about. So they're called ghost restaurants. So a ghost restaurant is a restaurant on DoorDash or all these food delivery apps that doesn't really exist, which is weird. It doesn't really exist. And you can make food and promote it on these apps. And people a delivery driver can come get it and deliver it to the person who bought it. So if you're an excellent cook, there's a guy in my city, he makes amazing wings. Recently, I think a few days ago, I DM'd him. I was like, hey, have you thought about this idea? Which he had already thought about, and he's actually working on getting set up right now. That is going to go crazy because once he's on there, it makes it a lot easier for people to buy, and he can make that a full-time gig if he wants to, right? But that's also something that's passive. If you have the time, you're at home a lot, and you have your schedule permits it, you can start creating a ghost restaurant on these food delivery apps and selling your food. I've actually bought from a ghost delivery restaurant without knowing it because, of course, you're not going to know it. Make sure you get the right logos in place. Make it look real. Take really great quality pictures for your listing on the food delivery apps, and no one would know that it's not a place that really exists. I found out my place didn't exist when I tried to call them, and it was a different location. But yeah, it's a ghost restaurant. Number 5, which you're currently watching me do, right? Number 5 is start a YouTube channel or a podcast, right? I do both. My podcast is pretty much a hobby. I really started it on a whim. I saw someone on Instagram do it. Not Instagram, someone on Twitter do it. And one of my friends was like, yo, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, right? He's going to talk about like sports and things. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do a random podcast where I kind of talk about any and everything. Check out my last episode, right? I talked to my stripper friend. Y'all should come listen to it. But the way you monetize on YouTube is a bit different. So there's 2 types of monetization on YouTube. So YouTube, you get paid with YouTube ad revenue, which I've been getting YouTube ad revenue for about 2 years. I'm waiting until I get a really viral video to do a video on that, but we'll talk about that later. But I've been getting YouTube ad revenue for 2 years, I believe, and you get paid a certain number per 1,000 views, right? So there's CPM and then RPM. So CPM is think of that as your gross, right? So YouTube might say my CPM is $25 per 1,000 views, right? But after YouTube takes its cut, it might come down to maybe $18 per 1,000 views, and that becomes my RPM. Depending on the type of content you make, that's what determines your CPM and RPM. Business channels like this and entrepreneurship style channels are actually the most highly paid in terms of CPM content channels on YouTube. I have videos, again, I'm going to go into more detail about this in later videos. I have a video that I get paid $137 per 1,000 views, and that is my RPM for that video. And that's crazy. I've seen even higher. So it could get really crazy depending on the type of content you make. If you make content for kids or vlog type content, which again, these are passive, not super passive, but if you make vlog style content or things like that, you're going to be closer to $2 to $5 CPM $2 to $5 per 1,000 views, which is your CPM. I love doing YouTube. I love creating content. It's fun for me. You guys should try it. And I know a lot of you guys are really interesting people, and I would love to watch some of you guys make YouTube channels. Now, the second part of getting paid on YouTube is doing brand deals. I do affiliate deals with software and things that I personally use, but a brand deal is a bit different. So a brand deal is basically, hey, I'm going to give you $6,000, and all you have to do is get on your channel and tell people, hey, Go buy Arizona's. They're great. They taste amazing. Yada, yada, yada. That is a brand deal where they're literally paying me to be on camera and promote the product. Like most of the time, the product is in their hand. And you've seen those before. You've seen brand deals before. Honey is everywhere. On pretty much any video you click on, it's Honey, sponsored by Honey. There's, what's the other one called? There's Squarespace. Squarespace is also on every single video, right? So that's another way you can monetize. There's actually a third type of monetization, which I just briefly talked about, which is affiliate deals. So affiliate deals are, hey, can you put this link in your description? Every time someone buys, you'll get a commission, right? I do affiliate deals. The number one affiliate deal that I do is Lux, because Lux is a software that I use pretty much every single day. But those are the ways to get paid from YouTube. Now, podcasting is a bit different. Podcasting is audio-based. I'm new to it, but I use a website called Anchor.fm to do my podcast, and they distribute it on pretty much Spotify, Apple Music, Google, whatever. So the way to get paid on that platform is in your Anchor account. When you log in, it says money. You click on it, and you can look at a bunch of sponsored posts, sponsored offers, sponsorship offers. God, I can't talk. Sponsored offers, and you can choose to activate them. The most recent one that I just saw in there was one for Anchor.fm itself. They're willing to pay $15 CPM, so $15 per 1,000 views, if I recorded a little soundbite that says, hey guys, go check out Anchor.fm to make your own podcast, blah, 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 do all that, blah, blah. And I play that in the middle of my podcast, I get paid. So that's the other way you get paid. And I'm sure for other bigger podcasters, there's definitely going to be brand deals where brands will pay you just to talk about a topic or just to talk about a brand or so on and so forth. Those are 5 side hustles that you guys can do even while in a pandemic. So I hope you guys got some entertainment and got some information from this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and check out the podcast in the link down below. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.
Trying to make a killing. We be trying to stack that money up until we break the ceiling. Niggas bragging about a couple bands, I'm trying to make $1 million. I was so broke that my stomach hurt. Remember when that bitch tried to play me when I wanted her? All I know is GDM and ain't nobody fucking with us. Now I got a couple, but I started with a bunch of niggas. Started with $1, now I'm trying to get a lot of